I moved to Coweta County about 4.5 years ago, and I had noticed gravestones that I could see driving up and down the interstate. In time, I noticed they disappeared, and I wondered about them. So I drove in here, noticed that they were overgrown, and I went to Richard and I said, I think maybe we ought to go up here and clean up this cemetery and take a look at it.
Gary Beckstead and Richard Canode did just that. It started last October, the shrubbery then completely burying those gravestones.
A cemetery of this type deserves attention and not to be forgotten.
And these two neighbors won't let this unmarked cemetery off Highway 29 go unremembered.
It's just really something that needs to be done. You know, it needs to be cleaned up, needs to look good.
Mount Gilead Primitive Baptist Church once stood here, and this was their graveyard, but that church has since gone defunct and been dissolved for many, many years.
But the graveyard remained largely abandoned until now.
The larger grave is our oldest grave, 126 years it has been here.
And it's one of more than 80 graves here, no official count yet.
We are discovering more graves as we work further back into the depth of the cemetery.
The cemetery now surrounded by yellow tape.
The grave that suffered the worst damage is this one over here.
More than a week ago, Beckstead noticed some of the graves were damaged.
Apparently the delicate stone that's on top of the grave broke, and the marker broke as well.
Soon the real work will begin.
We've been doing a lot of work just restoring the cemetery, and then at some point we're going to get busy with a program to try and reach out to folks.
Reaching out to families.
I mean, there's some old graves here, so you're talking about great-great-great-grandchildren who maybe are alive today that might appreciate that.
Thank goodness for the kindness of strangers.